Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Asbury Memorial United Methodist Church. If you take just a moment, look under the aisle chairs. There's a red pad. Remove this pad and print your name legibly and give us as much information as you would like us to receive. If you would like to receive emails from us, from the church, please include your email address. After everyone has signed the red pad, notice the names that are on the red pad as you pass it back down to the center aisle, and that's also easier for the people to pick up the pad. But notice the names so you can greet one another after the service. If you plan to attend Asbury Memorial on a regular basis, we do have name tags, and we would love to get you one. There's a whiteboard. Just print your name on the whiteboard, and we will get one for you. After the service, we'll have fellowship, which is most important, and light refreshments in the social hall. If you want to learn more about our programs or would like to meet people at Asbury, we have what is called the Connection Corner in the back of the social hall. We have wonderful people back there that would love to fill you with some information and guide you. We've started a group for young adults called Next that meets after church every second Sunday of the month. If you're in your 20s to mid-30s, they would love for you to join them in the conference room at 12:45. Heidi Dang will be leading this meeting today. At this time, Susan Bollinger, who works with our mission and our Connection Corner, has an announcement.
I have super vertigo right now, so let's see how this goes. It's my goal to give you some information and not tumble. This may seem like an out-of-the-box question, but do you know why fire ants don't drown? Anybody? I hear it over here. They link arms, legs, with the other fire ants, and so they float. And by doing so together, they float on top of what otherwise would individually kill them. So perhaps you haven't had enough sleep or coffee, and you're wondering why in the world I'm talking about communally floating fire ants and mission and service committee. Well, I'm here today to give you a soft launch, talk about a soft launch and a teaser, if you will, for a church-wide journey that we're going to begin in April called Multiply the Love, a Faith in Action Invitation. So this is an important journey, and here's why. How many among us have ever been a part of a beloved community like Asbury? Anybody? You have? Blessed. Good. That's fantastic. Well, I never have. I've never been a part of a place like this. I've seen more lives changed, I mean really changed, here than at any other church or any other community I've been in. We're blessed to be a part of this community that gives real transformative love and acceptance. But I think that it's kind of different out there beyond the walls of Asbury. I dare say few people have experienced Asbury-style transformative love and acceptance. And we're at a really unique time in our country, in our world, and certainly within the United Methodist Church. The life-giving, transformative power of Asbury-style love and acceptance has never been more needed and has never been more widely needed than it is right now. So what is Multiply the Love, a Faith in Action invitation? It's an invitation to embark on a journey, both individually and together as a body. It's an intentional expansion of Asbury's transformational love and acceptance through faith in action. But a journey is only taken one step at a time. So today, let's take our first step together. For anyone willing to participate, we're going to start with two simple exercises. They're deep exercises on gratitude. The first is a group exercise. The second is one that you can do at home. The first exercise, we hope, will allow us to make some additional deep connections to each other and possibly start some conversations that you haven't had with other people at Asbury. So we're going to start out with another wall exercise in the social hall after coffee at coffee hour. I'm going to ask you to write down the name of a movie, song, book, or work of art that you're grateful for because it taught you or showed you something about the power of transformational love and or acceptance. Then I'm going to ask you to write one brief sentence saying what it showed you or taught you. So for an example, my entry would be the movie Gran Torino, my favorite all-time movie. And what I would write down is, what it showed me was a gritty, beautiful example of the power of Jesus' level of transformational love in a relationship between the gruff main character and his Hmong neighbors. Now, I put that this way so that in case you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil the story for you, but if you haven't seen it, boy, do you have something to look forward to. My husband Randy's entry would be the movie Forrest Gump, and he loves that because he says it shows him that it doesn't matter who you are. Anyone who shows unconditional love and acceptance to others can make a big and often unknown impact in other people's lives. So we'll do this exercise for a couple of weeks. So if you need some time to think about it, you can go home and think about it and then come back next Sunday or so and write it on the wall in the social hall. And we'll start some interesting conversations. Now the second exercise is simple but powerful one to do at home. I'm going to ask you to consider keeping a gratitude journal over Lent. I don't know how many of you have done this, how many are doing it currently, but there is some incredible power in keeping a gratitude journal. And what it does is it really forces us to pay attention to all the good things in life that we might otherwise take for granted. And especially with everything that's going on today, it's pretty easy to see all the negative things and miss some of even the simple or profound good things. So research has shown that there are some pretty impressive benefits traced to the simple act of writing down just a few things for which you're grateful. These benefits include better sleep, fewer symptoms of illness, and more happiness, both amongst adults and kids. So it's pretty straightforward. You can choose to do it once a day or once a week. If you're doing it once a day, write down 3 things that you've experienced for which you're grateful before you go to sleep. If you're doing it once a week, you could write down 5 things that you've experienced that week for which you're grateful. Your entries could be as simple as something like, the orange that you had that morning actually tasted like an orange. Or it could be something more profound, just a short entry about generosity of one of your really great friends. So I'll have a sheet with some quick research-based tips back in the social hall, or in the connection corner in the social hall to make it more meaningful. And these 2 simple actions on gratitude, the wall exercise and the gratitude journal, are bringing us closer to the official start of Multiply the Love, a Faith in Action journey. On Sunday, March 24th, after coffee hour, we'll have a light lunch and discussion in the sanctuary here with more details and a Q&A for anyone interested in learning more before we kick it off officially in April. So sign up in the connection corner if you'd like to come to that lunch and that Q&A so that we'll know how many people we will have for lunch. And yay, I did not faint or fall.
And now we have an announcement from Ann Hagan and Heidi Hoffman about some special visitors.
Hi, I'm Heidi from Boston. Billy asked me to read an announcement today. Mid-April, during Holy Week, we look forward to the arrival of a large group of Methodists from Germany. For most of the travelers, this is a first trip to our country, and so they are wicked excited to meet us. Asbury is offering the congregation a wicked good opportunity to house 2 to 4 of these Germans for 2 nights. Briefly, here's what the host will do. It's not hard. Let's start. Just park the car in the yard next to the church on Wednesday, April 17th. After the Wednesday night supper, take your guests in your car to your house. Provide a bed and use of a bathroom. Thursday, after a light breakfast, drive your guests in your car to Asbury. Repeat for 2 nights. On Friday, after a light breakfast, this is the last day, return your guests to Asbury. Now, if you don't live wicked far and you're interested in hosting, please see Anne or Heidi during the coffee hour after the service. We can answer any questions that you might ask. It's going to be wicked fun.
Well, I'm Anne, mostly from Savannah, and in case y'all needed a little translation of what she just told you, we're going to be, as a congregation, hosting a group of German Methodists during the month of April. And what you'll need to do if you'd like to help host these folks who have a lovely time in Savannah is after Wednesday night supper on April, the 17th, you'll carry them home in your car, and then the next morning, you'll feed them a light breakfast. You might want to have grits. I don't know if they have had grits before or not, but whatever you serve them will be lovely. We just want them to experience Asbury hospitality. It's not going to matter what our accent is like or what language we speak. We will have a good time with these people. It will be Wednesday night, carry them back here to the church on Thursday morning, come back and get them on Thursday evening and take them home again, and then provide transportation. Now, one other thing, if you don't have transportation, we'll be glad to try to work that out for you. But these folks, we're going to house them more fluent speakers with less fluent speakers, and so you don't have to worry about speaking German. We're going to help take care of all those details for you. Thank you.
Now, Anne, I did not understand 100% of what you just said, but I get it.
Well, yeah, and I get it too. So we're just going to have a good time.
What about the Germans? Do you think the Germans will understand us? Yes.
Thank you, Susan, Heidi, and Anne. We hope you'll join us for Wednesday night supper, which begins at 5:45. It's a great meal for a great price with wonderful people. Remember, every 3 meals purchased will supply a meal for a senior citizen. Be sure to make your reservations no later than tomorrow. Every Wednesday during Lent, we'll have a Taizé service that starts at 6:30, which uses prayer, silence, and special music that calms the soul. The service starts at 6:30 and is over by 7 for those who want to go to choir or any other programs. At this time, anything that rings, dings, beeps, or chimes, could you please silence it so that it doesn't interrupt the service? Take a moment just to look at your phones and make sure it is off. Bless you. Thank you for being with us today. We hope you have a meaningful worship service.